Well, hello model car fans. Welcome to the Muscle Car Modeler. My name is Raul, and this week I'm going to show you how I detail my muscle car tires. I've been asked a number of times how I do it and what I use, so laid out here is pretty much what I use and some of the things I have done. So I got some tires right here, just the typical modern day kit stuff. Got some Revell ones, some of the ones that are in the AMT kits, all right here. And these four are from my GTO, so I'll be working on all of those today. And I got my wheels for my GTO sitting over here. But I'll go over these tires. I got this circle ruler, which I picked up. And then I've also got the jelly roll pens. That's how I do them. I got two whites. I got a fine and a medium tip. A red one and a blue one for red line and blue line tires. They work pretty decent. Then I got your typical X-Acto knife and toothpick and some water because you got to use acrylic paint. So there's a couple of acrylics right here that I've got. The red one turned up missing. I don't know where it is at the moment, but I do have a red acrylic around here too. But you have to use acrylic paint on the vinyl tires because enamel paints will not dry on them. They get gummy. That's how they work. But here's a typical modern AMT tire that has the groove cut in it. I've used this one a number of times where I just fill it with paint. So I'll get my paintbrush and dab paint one of the acrylics in there to make the white wall with that. This is another AMT with the really raised Goodyear tires. This one you see quite a bit. I like the pad printed tires, but of course those are pad printed and everything. You really don't need to do anything with those. Got a couple of Revell Goodyear tires here, Goodyear Radial GT with the raised, and then here's the same tire but in a later kit that's smooth. Just smooth on the back side, letters on the front side. And this is the same kind of thing. Here's a Revell kit, also a Goodyear, but this one you can see it has a sidewall detail, which I like these, and they've got a raised ridge on here that you can paint the white line or red line on. And then here's this pretty much the same tire with no detail at all. It comes in some of the same kits. And then of course one of my favorites right here, the AMT Goodyear. Although this one's already pre-trimmed, they don't always do a real nice trimming. Sometimes you get them where they're uncut and you can trim them yourself. But this is one of my favorites. So we'll get started here. And then one of my friends made this for me, spun it. You can put it in your drill and mount the tire to it and spin it and sand it. Only problem is it works great on these tires, which is the one I use it the most on, but it's a little too big for some of the other tires. So a lot of times I don't sand. Like this one, you can get it on there, but the lip on the inside, it doesn't fit. But this was made for me by a friend. So I've seen people make these with bolts, washers, and nuts to clamp and hold the tire. It works really great. BG showed one on his channel recently where he built one. Pretty easy to do from the hardware store if you want to spin it. And then, you know, some sanding sticks. I use those to sand the tread off. But a lot of times there's flash on them. Like this one's really nice. Yeah, these are actually pretty cleanly molded. Sometimes they're not so cleanly molded. And then I'll just take my razor and I'll just run it down and trim it off and trim it all off. But these are actually pretty clean, so I don't have to do that on these. I think one of them did. Yeah, this one's got a little bit right here. So you can trim that off like that. But you gotta make sure you have a really sharp razor. Yeah, this one's the same way. But most of the time you get a pretty cleanly molded tire, which really thankful for that. Now this ruler here, it gives you all the different sizes, but I'll basically put it on the tire like this, get an idea, okay, you know, what the size is. That way, especially if I have a plain one like this, I can pick something that I like size wise. And then let's just lay it down here. And let's take my Jelly Roll pen. Let's see. And then I'll just run it around. There we go. Now the paint is flowing. There you go. I didn't do the greatest job centering it because I'm actually doing this with the camera in between me and this. But if you mess up, you can always wipe it off. There you go. You can always wipe it off and start over. Just comes right back off. The only bad part, if you handle your tires too much, it can come right back off again. Sometimes it's not always the cleanest, but you can always touch it up, wipe it and redo it till you get one that you like. So there's one. Let's do this one with a bigger. Let's do a blue line. Oops. Some of these I haven't used in a while, so that's looking pretty good. Put the caps back on. Now when it comes to the letters, like Goodyear, this one's real easy because they're nice and raised. But I kind of like to use the wider tip. It puts more paint down, but you just carefully go right over the letters. You can see my hand's a little shaky. And then same thing, you mess up, just wipe it and then do it again. And like this one's putting out a little too much paint. That's why I get the different size. This is a little bit finer tip. This one the paint isn't flowing as well. Yeah, we'll wipe it. Here we go. The other part with the finer tip is it's harder to keep it on, but you can get the finer detail, like you see the outline of the foot there instead of just filling it. And that's looking pretty good. And if you get in between the letters, I use a toothpick and you can scrape in between the letters, and sometimes a razor blade just to take the paint off and then let it dry. But once this is on the tires, try not to touch it very much. And then I generally like to fill these. Here's this Goodyear. You see I got a little too high right there, so there we go. And then switch to the smaller one to give you an idea. And as you can see, I don't always get it on the first try. Sometimes I'll mess up a letter, but I'll touch it up with this toothpick. But it takes a bit of patience. A steady hand helps. But I really like the pad printed tires. I really hope they become more readily available. So I'll be working more on those. It gives you an idea of what I use. And then on the acrylic paint, gotta shake it up a little bit, get my fine. These ones are even easier when just kind of keep it flat. You can just flow the paint right in there. And then wipe off the extra. I do a little bit at a time here. There we go. I'll just clean off my paintbrush, but you can see, fill that in. I've done that with these, used them to fill in white, yellow, red, blue acrylic paint, and I'll let that dry. And they come out pretty nice. But I've gotten away from using these tires. So some of my older builds, I have these tires. My only issue is that red line is a little far out. I like them a little bit closer to the rim. But to get into some of the other tires, I really like Modelhaus that's still around. So I'll use a lot of their tires instead. A bit more expensive, but a lot of times I'll use these, and I bought a whole bunch of them. So let me get some of those and show you some of those. Now when it comes to the Modelhaus tires, I've got a number of them. Here's 193s. These are wide whites. These are really nice. And then if you know their tires, you can take the inserts out. Some people don't realize that or know that. But this is the 193. I've used this on my 61 Continental. On that one, the AMT 61 Continental. And some of the other kits, they're a little bit taller. So there's 193. Here's 197. I haven't used these yet, but these are red lines, and they're the Firestones, but they're not marked Firestones. They're a lot like Firestones, but same thing. They're red lines, but you can buy the white lines, and you can take them out and paint them, and then put them back. So even if they don't offer it in red line, you can change it to red line or blue line or gold line. But here's 197. I haven't used these on anything yet. Here's some 220s. These are really nice. I've gotten a few sets of these. Also available in white and red. But these are the Goodyear tires, as you can see. These are Goodyears, and then same thing, the insert will come out. And I've used these on a few, mainly my 68 Cougar has this on it. So these fit a lot of the MPC kits. There's like two sizes. This is the little bit smaller size Goodyear that you see on the MPCs. And I think the other one is 324. Yeah, 324. These are also Goodyear. They're wide treads, available in red and white. I've used this on my 64 GTO, and they'll work on the Grand Prix. I've matched them up with those tires and a few other MPC kits and AMT kits. So there's 324, and then like I said, it's available in both white and red. 342s are kind of they're a white line, but they're kind of the pie crust. So it's a bit more early, it's like 61, 62. More like 62, 63. Haven't used these yet, but I bought a set and we'll see what I end up using them on. Set of 426s. These are Firestones. Deluxe Champion. I believe they're Firestone. Yeah, Firestone Deluxe Champions. I haven't used these yet on anything. But I stocked up on a bunch of these. Now this is 540. They're kind of plain. If I can get this one out. Doesn't want to come out. Here we go. They're kind of plain, but they work really nice, and they're Johans. They've got the taper for the Johan kits. So these are for Johans. And I've got a set for my 66 Marlin, and I used a set on my 69 GTX. And they work really nice. Well, actually, yeah, 69 GTX, 69 Roadrunner, you can use these if you want to go with the white line. Here's some 545s, both red line and white line. These also fit the Johans. They're a little bit smaller because they have two different sizes in the Johan kits. Use these on the 68 AMX, 69 Javelin, 69 SC Ramblers. That's what I've used these on, and they fit really nicely. So I got a couple of sets of those, multiple sets of those. Here's 235. These are wide whites. These are really nice. I've used these on my 58 through 60 Thunderbirds and 59 and 60 Edsels. Not marked, but a really nice white wall, and they're more promo style. You can cut this out if you need to. I have done it on the ones that have the backing. Like the 60 has a backing on my 60 T-Birds, but the 59 and 58 are more of a promo style. So it depends on how the wheels are cast. And then last up are 265s. These ones are they're a 13-inch set, and thin white wall. These are great for your Corvairs and your 64 to 66 Barracudas, which is what I got these for. If you want to do stock ones, they're also promo style. You can cut the back out if you need to. But these work great. And I know they provide them with their Corvair. Modelhaus did when they had their resin Corvair kits. I bought a couple. But I like the tires, and I plan to use these on 64 to 66 Barracudas. But they're also great for the Corvairs. A little bit funky as far as the way they're shaped, but I understand that's pretty accurate to the tire. But these are pretty cool, so I'm going to be giving those a try as well. But yeah, they're definitely smaller than any of the rest of them. But I hope that helps, and you guys get an idea of what I do and how I detail my tires. So I'll continue on. I'll get these painted, and I'll paint these wheels up. These are the honeycombs for my 71 GTO. Get them all finished up. But thank you for tuning in and subscribing and watching, and all your comments. I really do appreciate it. And you guys, you have a wonderful day.